Welcome, everyone, to upstate New York. At the foot of Seneca Lake is a wonderful racetrack, just full of history. Watkins Glen International once again plays host to playoff action in the HTL Cup Series. 78 laps tonight. It's going to be a very long race for these drivers, but an opportunity to make it into the Championship 8 presents itself for the road course aces in the HTL Cup Series. We're glad you're with us here on ABN for a wonderful Monday night of racing, the last road course race of the season. It's almost time to go at it. Points going into tonight, pretty straightforward. John Hagan locked in to the Championship 8 after winning last week in Darlington, the Southern 500, his second crown jewel. Hunter Peach, second place in points. Chad Swatsworth in third. Josh Susi, Mark Keisenweather, Eli Sasek, Davis Mill Jr., and Kyle Taub. Those marked in the cyan color are in the top 8. Right now, they're good. If the Championship 8 started today, those 8 would be in. Josh Gaiman, Jimmy Braille, Josh Arnold, Lily Sharp, by the slimmest of margins on the outside looking in after one of 5 races in the round of 16. Billy Thompson, Blake Henderson, Tucker Sawyer, they're also on the outside looking in by a little bit larger of a margin. Caitlin Height, after missing Darlington last week, is now 2 races in the hole, missing tonight as well. That almost completely does end Caitlin Height's championship opportunities at the beginning of the playoffs here. With 3 races remaining after tonight in the Championship 5, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Zach Meredith, Dustin Hall, Dean Clavitt, best of the rest on the outside of the playoffs. Obviously, both Meredith and Hall had great races at Darlington last week. Dean Clavitt, not so much, hoping that that turns around just a little bit here tonight. Jonathan Adams in 20th, Austin Mongo, Patrick Oberstadt round out your top 22. Elias Flores, Dale Markowski, all those on the outside of the playoffs looking in. So that being said, at the moment, it is Mark Keisenweather that is the fastest driver on the racetrack at the moment. Willie Sharp, second fastest. John Hagan, last week's winner, third fastest at the moment, the 97, which is about a quarter of a second away from Keisenweather's time right now. Remember, Sharp, a race winner in HTL competition on the road course in Daytona. Hunter Peach, fourth fastest. Tucker Sawyer, fifth. And a big snap of oversteer and a spin into the Armco by John Hagan on what was going to be a flying lap. Not so hot anymore. There's Tucker Sawyer. 4 wins in the ABN Champ Car World Series, all of them on road courses. Still looking for his first in HTL. Here is a car that is pretty blank at the moment. This is the number 3 of David Smith Jr. See if we can get that updated real quick. There we go. On the spot. There is the 3 of David Smith Jr. filling in for Caitlin Height. The 3 is in the Owners' Championship as well. David Smith last week raced in the 31, which is not in the Owners' Championship. The 3 a lot more important as the chartered entry for Caitlin Height. Needs a driver in that car to compete in the Owners' Championship as well. The team trying to get both of those titles this season. So David Smith moving in to fill in that number 3 car here at Watkins Glen in the hopes that Caitlin Height can return to that 3 car next week. Reason why that is so important, Las Vegas next week, June 16th. Middle of the round of 16 is in Nevada. Talladega on June 23rd, and then Fontana ends out the round of 16 on June 30th. We know how good Caitlin Height is, especially on the intermediates. So the hope is Davis Meal can try to rally and get a good result here in Watkins Glen. Dustin Hall spinning out of the last corner. Very blind last corner, turn 7. Davis Mill Jr. as well. 23 cars so far listed for the race right now. There's Josh Susie finishing his lap. His 36th lap complete in practice. Yeah. A very long race upcoming. Watkins Glen, 76 laps, 2 stages. There are stage breaks in tonight's event. Lap 15 and lap 40 is when you'll see those stage breaks come into play. Talladega in a couple weeks will be the last race to have stage breaks at all. On June 23rd. Races at Las Vegas, races at Fontana, races at Bristol, races at Old Atlanta, Kentucky. Those won't have stage breaks. Las Vegas won't have stage breaks either. So only a couple more opportunities to take advantage of the stage breaks this season while they last. See the previous runners. Sam Baumgartner, Alistair Kirk, Caitlin Heights won here before. Bianca Constantinou won in season 4. Josh Susie, your 2-time defending champion who was middle of your screen, won here last season. So he knows how to get it done here in Seneca Lake. There's Schatz Wadsworth, 7th fastest right now in practice. Big talk of the town going into tonight's race, Tyler Ratliff. For the first time last week at Darlington, his first ever career top 5 and top 10 in South Carolina in his 16th start. He had worked very hard to get to that point. Was ecstatic to be able to break through and grab that first career top 5 and top 10 last week. He's 17th fastest at the moment. The hope is that maybe a little bit of confidence can be built and that 54 car can potentially get another one. Whether it's the chaos here at Watkins Glen, the endurance here at Watkins Glen, or coming up here very shortly, whether at Talladega or at Las Vegas next week. Opportunities present for the 54 to try to do well. Driver not doing so hot right now. Josh Arnold only 22nd place. He's run 22 laps here in practice. He's just not coming to terms with Watkins Glen very well right now. Needing a little bit of chaos in this race to bring some good results for the 22 car. Not a prolific road course racer is Josh Arnold. Just trying to survive and get to Las Vegas, where the tracks get a lot better for the 2 here tonight. Dean Clavitt once again, the 17. Another new color for the 17 car. We've seen red, we've seen blue, now we're seeing yellow on the number 817 car. 18th fastest at the moment. As Clavitt rolls around the inner loop. Practice has come to a close. And that means qualifying set to be underway. Group qualifying for the last time this season. All cars on the racetrack at the same time to see who can set the best lap time here in New York. And the green flag flies in qualifying. First car rolling, Schatz Wadsworth. Car number 18 from Militia Racing Club. Rolling through the S's for the first time under qualifying conditions. 20 minutes for the field as we get ready to go here in qualifying. It'll be a very busy track as everyone gets on track together here. Only car that did not set a practice lap time, Austin Mongold, for Sideswipe Racing. The 22 set at least 4 laps. Chad Spotsworth, one of those in the Centennial Club. 103 starts coming into tonight. 6 poles, 4 wins. None of them here at Watkins Glen. But he has been a pretty robust all-around driver in the HTL Cup Series now for the better part of 3 years. He's finished runner-up 3 seasons in a row in the championship standings. Zach Meredith in season 3. Actually, I think all 4 seasons he's been runner-up to Matthew Boone in season 2, Meredith season 3, and then Josh Ducey the last 2 seasons, I do believe. Look how close he got to the Armco there. Obviously, this car very skaty, very sliding, almost like on ice up the S's there. Got to control the slide. He will be the first driver to set a lap time here in qualifying, so we'll follow through the rest of this lap. Again, he is not a favorite to be in that pole conversation. Kaisenweather and Hagen would be in that conversation. Same with Lily Sharp. But we'll see what Spotsworth baseline looks like here around the final corner. Across the start-finish line for Chad Spotsworth. And the car number 18 sets a lap time good enough. 1:12.898. More times coming in. Eli Sasek goes fastest. John Hagen puts his time on the board. 1:12.252 for John Hagen to go top of the board at the moment. Callie Height on a lap here in OnlyFans number 88. First time we've seen this car on the track for the 88. It was on the 3 car earlier this season. So with Kaylin obviously not present, it is Callie's turn to represent the sky blue and white machine around the foothills of Seneca Lake. Callie Height on the board. Goes 5th fastest. Good time for the British driver. Sharp goes 3rd fastest. Some of the drivers in the field flexing their muscle just a little bit. Mark Kaisenweather now on a timed lap. Let's see what he's got in the 12. Pretty stable under braking in there for turn 1. We saw the inboard there of Mark Kaisenweather. See Kaisenweather in his 20th career start, rookie of the year in HTL competition. 3 wins, 8 top 5s, 10 top 10s, but no poles yet in his HTL career. Trying to set that tonight. Looks like he invalidated his lap time there a little too much on the curves in the inner loop. We'll see. 16 set lap times so far from Lily Sharp, who goes fastest, to Josh Arnold. Kaisenweather, one of those that have not. Out of turn 7. And indeed, not a valid lap time last time around for Mark Kaisenweather. The inner loop, the invalidating factor. So we'll move here and see what he's got on this second lap. No, Kaiserweather actually did go fastest. Excuse me. Our data did not update there for a hot second, but he did go fastest. A 1:12.104 for Kaiserweather puts the number 12 top of the board. It is Toyotas 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. No Fords in the top 10. 3 Chevrolets there, 6th, 7th, and 8th. 7 Toyotas in the top 10 right now. As Kaiserweather rounds turn 7. This looks like a faster lap. Whether it is or not, we'll see. But that looked faster. And it was 1:11.805 for Kaiserweather. Opens up the gap to 3/10 over Lily Sharp, who is on a lap as well, the second place car. And not a great slide there for Sharp. A little bit too much for the French driver. Hunter Peach, third fastest. 1:12.156. NFG looking strong, second and third. Hunter Peach move forward. Not a big gap to cover. He will move up to second place. Second fastest for Hunter Peach. He's had a hot streak here. Competitive at Darlington a week ago. Competitive at Michigan a few weeks ago. Looking competitive here tonight. Hunter Peach 1:12.057, enough for second place, but still a quarter second shy from the pole position. And you see the stats there on your screen. No poles for Hunter Peach either. Same with Kaiserweather. Hunter Peach, though, almost over triple the starts of Kaiserweather. Both of them looking for their first. John Hagan looking to play spoiler, though. Ever the consistent spoiler, as the championship leader, locked into the championship 8 already, wants to break the record for most wins in a single season. He's got 11 career poles, looking for career pole number 12. He's on the front row, but it is close with Peach and Sharp. Bryn Roberts half a second away from this conversation towards the pole position in the 5th spot, but there he is coming into the inner loop as well. He's got some slipstream off of David Smeal Jr. Roberts 5th fastest, David Smeal Jr. 14th fastest. Hunter Peach once again second fastest here. Lap times getting a little bit quicker. John Hagan at a turn 7. Can he close in on Kaiserweather? Answer to that question is yes. 1:12.002. The brake ducts on fire. The brake disc glowing at a turn number 1. But everyone closing in ever so closely to Mark Kaiserweather, who is still pushing on his laps as well. Kaiserweather up the road, approaching turn 6. This is a flying lap for the 12. Last lap was an out lap. You can see that on the bottom. The dash mark means it was not a valid lap time coming out of pit lane. What has he got this time? The 12 has been quick all day. 1:12.5, getting it dialed in still. Second lap was his fastest on his initial run, so this makes sense. Really Sharp struggling to match that time of 1:12.1 to try to get at least the front row. Very aggressive take of the inner loop there. Cali Heights dropped down to the 10th spot behind Susie, Sasek. Jeremy Brayald has moved into the top 10. Tucker Sawyer's moved up the top 5 in that conversation. Willie Sharp hanging it all the way out there in turn 6. Not known for a lot of tact. Sharp, an aggressive driver by nature. Still someone who has got a lot of pace in that car, but has not found a way to rein in the aggression and the over-the-top methodology, the approach. Sharp's 4th fastest still. Last lap, a 1:12.186. So getting close once again. Just needs to dial in and get a little bit more precision out of that 19 car. Try to really dial this lap in. We'll see what this looks like. Again, very aggressive across all the curbs there, especially on the inside of the inner loop. We're seeing a lot of people take it a little bit more like a sweeping corner. It's a little bit wider from those that are running fastest at the moment. Sharp trying to straight line it as much as possible. So 2 different methods on the inner loop, and the fastest way around is not what Sharp's running at the moment. We'll see if this works. This does not seem like a quick lap. This seems a lot all over the place for the French driver. We'll see if that's cost Sharp. Yeah, 2/10. And Sharp now 6th fastest. So losing out now to Sawyer and Susie, who have moved into the top 5. So Sharp wasting valuable time, 8 minutes and counting to go. You've got maybe one more really good run in it. Kaisermother, oh, and a hard hit in the S's for Sharp, and the car will come to a slowdown here. John Hagen also coming up the S's here as Sharp will reset and take that 3rd run now. Hagen on a flying lap now, I do believe. His last lap was a warm-up. Car wrecking ahead, that was Dean Clavitt. So Clavitt will reset here. Clavitt is 21st fastest. Austin Mongold on the racetrack here. Yet to set a valid lap time, though. Did not practice. So expecting to see the 29 car in last at the end of today's qualifying session to start the Watkins Glen 300. Hagen out of turn 7. As close to the safe barrier as you can get on the exit of turn 7. Across the line, not fast enough, but first lap out. Second lap has been notoriously the fastest that everyone's been setting down on these runs. So we should be seeing a little bit quicker from Hagen this go around. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left on the board. What have they got? See what Hagen can do here. A lot of those in the top 5 on laps, except for Kaisermother. Kaisermother, it looks like his session may be done. .111.874. He has really closed in to Mark Kaisermother's lap time, and he's going to give it another lap to see what he can do. Kaisermother watching on from pit lane. Hunter Peach 3rd fastest, Sawyer 4th, Susie 5th, Sharp still top 6. The bow tie brigade being carried by Josh Susie, who gets jumped by Sharp back up to 4th for the French driver. What does John Hagen have? And can he go for pole? Oh, he's going to get very far out there, and he's going to invalidate his lap time. So this lap will not count for John Hagen. A little snappy out of turn 5, the carousel. I think Hayden's going to come down pit lane. Yes, he will. So down pit lane he goes. Hunter Beach in third. Last lap time does not count. It was a pit lap, so this is an out lap for him. So he's going to have 2 laps realistically to try to get to the front row. He's got to close up 2 tenths to get there. Guys and Weather on the racetrack as well. Just left pit lane. This is going to be special. This shootout for pole position. Realistically, anyone really out of the top 6 could theoretically get it here. Hagen going to get by Kaisenweather. Both of them on warm-up laps here. I do believe. Yes, they are. Hagen left pit lane. Same with Kaisenweather. Keep an eye on Davis Booth Jr. in third on the slipstream with 2 of the fastest cars on the racetrack. Could help Davis Booth Jr. possibly get into the top 10 on the qualifying times using that draft. That's very important here at Watkins Glen. All the straightaways. Up the S's through turns 1, 2, and 3. They'll be braking here. Up the hill now. Through the S's. Through 2, through 3, through 4. Aslan Mongo sets the time good enough for 21st on his 6th lap of trying. Oh, Hagen ran really wide. These two cannot battle for this. They cannot battle for track position because otherwise neither of them will improve. Sawyer has matched Kaisenweather's time. And he's got another lap to go. Oh, this is going to be spicy. 2 into the racetrack. Hagen and Kaisenweather on turn 7. Sawyer up to the S's in turn 4. Smeal loses that out of 7. They've got 1 lap left to do this. Hagen off the front row. He needs to improve. Kaisenweather would like to as well. This is Tucker Sawyer, 111.809. And 805 is the time to beat. Sawyer, he's got 1 more lap. He's got 1 last opportunity. I think he's trying to let Dustin Hall go through. Yes, he is. Hall's going to let him go through. 40 seconds, build up speed. So this lap will be the last for Tucker Sawyer in his attempt to go for pole. Kaisenweather's wrecked it. His lap's done. Hagen's going to have 1 more chance, maybe. He might be the very last driver to set a time. Out of turn 7, 10 seconds. He will be the last. It's all on for Tucker Sawyer to try to go for pole position, and can John Hagen spoil the party? Sawyer misses the corner, so he will sit second at the moment. It's now all on the shoulders of John Hagen, looking for career pole number 12. Very close to the Armco at the top of the hill. Not too many running at this moment. Sharp's lap ended 5th. Oh, what is this lap going to look like for John Hagen? Is he going to be able to take pole away in a frantic shootout? Mistakes for Kaisenweather and Sawyer have given Hagen a chance to be the last response for pole position. Out of turn 6, now through turn 7 for the last time in qualifying. What's it gonna be for John Hagen, your championship leader? Is this career pole 12? No, it is not. 3rd fastest for Hagen. Mark Kaisenweather is on the pole. Hunter Peach crosses the line, improves, but not enough to jump a position. 4th fastest for Hunter Peach. Likewise, Brendan Roberts, 10th fastest, will not improve and will come back down pit lane. And that'll do it in qualifying. Sharp upside down beyond the tire barriers there. But that will bring qualifying to a close here in Watkins Glen. We'll step aside for a quick break. When we come back, it's almost showtime from Watkins Glen International. Don't go anywhere because more to come from here in New York. Welcome, everyone, to the HTL Cup Series from Watkins Glen International. Race 19 of 25 in the HTL Cup Series season. And a fantastic shootout for pole position. Mark Kaisenweather will lead the field to green for the first time in his HTL Cup Series career, alongside Tucker Sawyer, who was within 4 thousandths of a second for that pole position. Absolutely frantic effort here in qualifying. Warm-up underway. So let's go ahead and get into it here. John Hagen, Hunter Peach, and Chad Spotsworth, your top 3 in points. Kaisenweather looking to extend his comfort in the top 8. Remember, championship 8, top 8 get through, including everyone that wins gets in from the top 16 for the final round. If you're looking at Tucker Sawyer, if you're looking at Lily Sharp, it is going to be very tense at the start of this race in the top 4. So let's go ahead and get into the starting grid here in Watkins Glen. It is Mark Kaisenweather and Tucker Sawyer top of the board. They will lead the field to green. Those marked in cyan are in the playoffs here. Tucker Sawyer should be marked in cyan, but isn't for some reason. We apologize for that mishap there. But both of them are playoff drivers. John Hagen, Hunter Peach, they are also looking to make some inroads here. Hagen in 3rd, Hunter Peach in 4th. Lily Sharp in the top 6 here in 5th alongside Josh Susie. Eli Sasek, Chad Spotsworth, they're in row number 8. And then you get to row number 5. Jeremy Braille and Bryn Roberts is how things line up there in your top 10. Row 6, Bailey Thompson and Elias Flores make up that row just outside the top 10. Row 7, 13th to 14th, it's Callie Height and Josh Gaiman. Kyle Taub and Tyler Ratliff make up row number 8. Row 9, Davis Meal Jr. and Dustin Hall, just inside the top 20. Your top 20 earmarked by Blake Henderson and the Bojangles 25, and Ross Baxter back in the 38 for Carolina Beagle Racing in 20th. the penultimate row, Austin Mongold and Dean Clavitt. And then on his own, Josh Arnold hoping for some chaos here in the opening laps. Will start 23rd and last here in New York. So warm-up underway. And here again, a huge shout out to Team Conti Center Performance. A big and busy week for Team Conti coming up lower left of your screen. Use that QR code if you're wanting to get ready for the big update this week. Updated Gen 7 cars you're seeing on your screen here tonight. Updated tires for the trucks, the Xfinity. Brand new, built from the bottom up, Gen 4 stock cars that you see in the HTL Cup Series. And the ARCA machines getting improvements as well. It's improvements across the board. One of the biggest iRacing oval updates of the last couple of years. That comes this week. Team Conti is going to be all over it with setups, with performance development, with coaching, and more. Like Conti, one of the best ever in the eNASCAR scene, guiding the way here, especially for the HTL Cup Series. They're going to need it next week at Las Vegas, the great unknown for the HTL Cup Series as well. Going to be exciting times coming up here with that update coming out Wednesday morning for all our racing users. We're glad they're on board here providing setups for the HTL Cup Series all season long. Las Vegas coming up next, then it's Talladega, the last plate race of the season. Fontana ends out the round of 16, and the championship 8 begins Old Atlanta, Legacy Atlanta, with the Coulter Scars 400 July 7th, July 14th, the Bristol night race in Tennessee, and then Kentucky Speedway hosts the finale on July 21st. It's almost time to go racing here. Cars get ready to grid up and get ready to go. Some information on your screen about Watkins Glen International. 8 turns, realistically 8 turns. It's labeled very weird depending on how you look at it. We see 7. The inner loop considered to be 1 turn, despite it being 4. A huge talking points that we normally would have if we were doing a sports car broadcast and had to fill time. You'll see all the previous race winners: Sam Baumgartner, Alistair Kirk, Caitlin Height, who's not present tonight, Bianca Constantinou, Josh Soucy. Fuel mileage, not a factor in stage 1, but will be a factor potentially in stage 3. As the field gets ready to roll here in Watkins Glen. 23 cars present, and almost showtime. It's Kaisenweather and Sawyer at the front of the field. We went over the qualifying order. Begin the race section of the broadcast. Singular warm-up lap here. Typically on the ovals, there's 2, with Watkins Glen having a slower pace speed, a slower pit speed as well, 40 miles an hour. Keep an eye out for pit stops when they happen in stage 3. Speeding up pit lane, very easy, especially given that part of the pit lane is downhill. Kaisenweather and Sawyer top 2. Hagan, Pete, Sharp, Soucy your top 6. As everyone goes through the inner loop under pace speed. This is going to be pretty fun to watch as everyone has to handle at speed together for the first time. Going up the hill through the S's and rolling through. Ready to go racing here for 76 laps. A little bit of latency for Mark Kaisenweather, but here we go. Racing in New York. Everyone gets to turn one okay, but how about the hill? Up the S's. Oh, no, trouble. Rail gets spun. Callie Height involved, Swafford involved, Henderson involved. And the S's are trouble on lap one. Dustin Hall started from pit lane and comes up across a bedlam of trouble as the field now goes to the inner loop. Josh Gabin missing his braking zone. We'll have a slowdown to clear. Callie Height lost several spots as well. And you see the damage on the left side of that 88. As the field completes lap one under green. So let's go and take a look at what happened here under green. You saw the latency there by Mark Kaisenweather at the initial start. Luckily did not have a factor in any of how this race started. A little bit of three wide action there. Callie Height getting ahead of Kyle Taub. Up the S's. There looks a little bit of contact between Thompson and Braille, and that is one of the strangest turn twos I've ever seen here at Watkins Glen. And we're right on board here with Callie Height. Middle three. A little bit of brake dust from up ahead. I believe that was Sawyer or Peach. Oh, see a little bit there. Car just got a little bit loose. Up above. Yeah, right there. Really good look there from the chopper cam. Height just gets really loose. And right into the 74, who tags Swatsworth and gets them spun around. Henderson spins on his own and gets collected. That's rough. See what happened to Blake Henderson here. Yeah, he just locks it up trying to avoid what's coming, and instead throws himself right into it. So back in real time. Callie Height back up into 14th, gaining one spot since the opening lap. Melee, it is Mark Kaisenweather, top of the board, first career pole position. And he is holding on with both hands to the race lead early on. The reason why nobody's freaking out quite so much just yet, stage one ends on lap 15, and there is a stage break. So the likelihood of going a lap down in stage one, very small. Especially for those involved in the incident, Henderson, Swatsworth, and Braille. They're usually pretty quick and able to avoid going a lap down in a stage as short as here in Watkins Glen. A lot of people cheering on Kaisenweather. As well as Hunter Pete, Josh Arnold, Chad Wadsworth, and Kyle Taubes. Most of the Militia Racing Club team in that. Sawyer in second, Hagan in third. As they go up the hill here on lap 5. Tucker Sawyer's really closing in on this fight. Trying to get to the lead of the race. Bring on board the 95, looking at the 12 with Kissenweather. Tucker and Mark going through turn 5 towards turn 6 now. Here's a look back at good old John Hagan sitting in third under pressure from Sharp. Oh, flip of the Amco by Sawyer. Big kick up there by Sawyer. Unforced error trying to chase down Kissenweather. Sawyer not letting it affect him too awful much here, but he did lose 2/10 on the 12. Sharp really pursuing the 97 of John Hagan, trying to get to that top 3 spot. Stage point still in effect here. And Sharp, as we mentioned leading into this, outside looking in on the points bubble. Same with Sawyer. Hagan already locked in. All of that very important for both stages to try to maximize stage points here for the road course ringers in the playoffs here. Sasek up to 5th, Susie in 6th. Defending winner of this race. There's Hunter Peach in 7th. Ben Roberts a little further back in the 8th spot. And the concern that you have if you're someone in this mid-pack, you saw what happened on lap 1. We get 2 more attempts at a restart guaranteed with the stage breaks. It could very well happen again to start stage 2 or stage 3. Like Henderson struggling a little bit more. You see the damage on that 25 car. Just trying to stay out long enough to not go a lap down and be able to get that car repaired. Onboard Sharp in 4th, Hagan in 3rd. Looking back at John Hagan. Sorry, looking back from Hagan to Sharp. Excuse me. Into the inner loop. Sharp is very aggressive on that inner loop. So aggressive, and you see why that doesn't pay off. And here comes Sasek. Already up 2 spots. Would love to get around Lily Sharp for 4th. And gonna give it a look there into 6th. Looks like trouble for Bailey Thompson. And yeah, that car is not looking great right now. Here's what happens. to Bailey Thompson. This is coming to the inner loop. And I think this is going to be pretty similar to what happened to Sharp, but a little bit more severe. Yep. A little bit too much curving. Thankfully, it's in the tires and not the Armco. But Thompson struggling to get that car back going again. And a day from bad to worse early on for Thompson. And see Thompson now in 20th place as a result. Pressure at the top. Kissenweather and Tucker Sawyer. '12 of Kissenweather sitting at the pole position. Has led every lap so far. Sawyer knows this is his best chance to get a race win and move on into the championship 8. He has not had the strongest season on the ovals, either in the HTL Cup Series or in the ABN Champ Car World Series. Sawyer just trying to defy the odds at the moment, knowing that this is the last road course race of the season. Another clip of the Armco for the 95. It's a little bit more of a struggle here. There's a three-way fight just behind. Looking at the top 5. Hunter Peach right now in 7th. It's battle really all the way up to 4th of Sharp. With Hagan a little bit further up ahead in 3rd. Further behind, a little bit of a battle here between Kyle Taub and Callie Height. There's Jeremy Braille just behind, Tyler Ratliff just ahead. Ratliff looking to possibly get his way into a top 10 position once again. Sitting right now in 11th. Some of these cars will have to take extended repairs on the stage break when they come down pit lane after lap 15. Callie Height looks to the inside into turn 1. Blowing brake disc, and Callie Height makes it a move up into 12th. So now Callie Height up 1 spot from where she started after losing 2 spots immediately in this very corner. Up to 12th. Trying to chase down Tyler Ratliff as Braille goes ahead of Taub for 13th. So some movers and shakers in the mid-pack. David Smith Jr. in 15th, just down the road there as well. Callie Height would love to try to get into the top 10 and at least have a chance to go after Elias Flores, who is in 10th right now, the 99. Here we go. Battle for 11th. Callie Height. Make that 2 spots gain. Ratliff set to lose maybe a couple spots here as Braille puts pressure on the 54 through the hill. Out of turn 4 towards the inner loop. And Braille will get clear of Ratliff, forces his way clear on the exit of the inner loop. A little bit of pressure on Kissenweather. Hagan down pit lane early. pit lane closes when the leaders start lap 14. So Hagan makes his pit stop a lap early. He's trying to cycle to the front of the field. Let's see what Kissenweather and Sawyer do if they come down pit lane this time before pit lane closes. Come down pit lane here, or are they going to battle for the stage points? What do we got here? They're going to stay out. They're going to go for it. They want all the stage points. They think they can pass Hagan in stage 2 when he inherits the race lead. So 2 to go in stage 1. Sharp gets up to 3rd. Eli Sasek up to 4th. A couple cars took pit stops there. Hunter Peach, John Hagan, Kyle Taub, and Chad Swatsworth. Car in the fence for a moment. I think that might have been Josh Susi that tagged the wall just a little bit up the hill. Josh Gaiman in 6th. Brent Roberts, Elias Flores, Callie Height, and Jeremy Braille rounding up the top 10 at the moment, but it is close. As Braille looks after Height. Thought about it to the inner loop. Has a couple opportunities to try to get around the 88. It's Camaro and Camaro run to the field in this battle for 9th place. This could get a little physical. Braille in the playoffs, Height not in the playoffs. Whoa, little snap there for Callie. Gonna give Braille a chance to respond through 7. Last lap of stage number 1. And Braille sends it into the inside turn 1. Callie tries to match. Still side by side up the hill. Very close between the two. Fantastic stuff. Ratliff there to pick up the pieces if they come. Through the bus stop, the inner loop, a little bit of contact. Oh, this is going to be very close in this battle. Because these two will be when the caution comes out to end stage number 1. It'll be based off of when these two do. Kaiserweather, Sawyer, Sharp, top 3 in the stage. And the caution comes out early. So Height holds on the 9th. Braille will end up in 10th, but it is Mark Kissenweather that ends up with your stage win in stage 1. Some pretty good racing going on there in stage 1, but some repairs to do for some of these cars under this pit stop. First opportunity to do so. Austin Mongold's race over after only 10 laps. Gives us 22 running, those 22 still on the lead lap. Mongold's retirement not entirely surprising given the lack of track time for Mongold going into this. Other 22 have something to fight for, though. So get ready for stage number 2. Intriguingly in all of this, the fuel mileage we see here, we'll pull up this track factoid here. The fuel mileage, 26 to 28 laps. Hagan may need to make a pit stop in stage 2. those that are pitting right now or on this lap will be good through stage 2. Hagan pit a lap 13. He might have a pit stop to make in stage 2. So he might not score stage points at all. Something to kind of keep an eye on there. Same with Hunter Peach, Kyle Taub, Chad Spotsworth. They all pit early. They might have some work to do in stage 3 because they're going to be behind the 8 ball. For Kissenweather and Sawyer, though, 1-2 as they started. With that being said, pit stop set to be underway for the first time tonight. We'll step aside for a very short break. From a word from our setup provider here for the HTL Cup Series, Team Conti. Don't go anywhere. More racing from Watkins Glen coming up here on ABN Sports. Pit stops for most of the field here, except for Dean Clavitt, John Hagan, Hunter Peach, and those that came down early in stage number 1. The pole sitter coming down pit lane, same with second place Tucker Sawyer. 4 tires for just about everyone here. Sharp going for a fuel-only approach. 4 tires there for Kissenweather, for Sawyer. Very interesting to see how this plays out. It does move Dean Clavitt to the top of the board, leading this race. Dean has yet to come down pit lane at all. So this is going to be a very interesting one. Fuel window is 26 to 28 laps. So this will be a pretty interesting development here. Clavitt, Hagan, Peach, Spotsworth, Sharp, Kissenweather, Sawyer, Sasek, Susie, and Gaiman your top 10. Some work being done on cars further down the order. Bailey Thompson, David Smeal Jr., Blake Henderson. They've got some extended work to do. You see them all on pit lane there, line astern in their boxes. Extended time on pit lane. Try to get all that work done. You see the damage on the 25 and the 3. It's not insignificant, the damage there for them. As for Bailey Thompson, who we saw nose into the tire barrier on the exit of the inner loop. Their objective is to try to avoid going a lap down here. We'll see if they start moving here shortly. There's Smeal beginning to roll. Still a little bit of damage on the right side of that car. Henderson still having damage on that car as well. As the field rolls through, some cars topping off of fuel includes Josh Arnold, Tyler Ratliff, and Callie Height. So this is going to be an interesting restart with Clavitt leading the way on the oldest tires in the field, but the lowest fuel, having not come down pit lane under any circumstance so far tonight. Very interesting. See how this plays out. we're going to show that here on our tower here. Clavitt is yet to be down pit lane. Hagan, Peach, Wadsworth, they came down on lap 13 together. It's going to be a very interesting one. Clavitt started this race in 22nd, next to dead last. Biggest mover so far by default. Remember the chaos we saw on lap 1 in turns 2 and 3. We could see more of that again as we get ready to get underway one more time to start stage number 2. It is Clavitt, Hagan, front row, Peach, Wadsworth, Sharp, Kissenweather. Sharp fuel only on her stop. Kissenweather 4 tires. Most of the field took 4 tires on their start, except for Sharp. So let's see what difference that makes. Pace car rolls into pit lane. See the green flag in the air. And away we go. Oh, car around. Gaiman. And trying to track everyone as they go up the hill. Oh, car in the fence, height. Everyone's sliding around a little bit. But a spin by Josh Gaiman. Oh, in trouble, Dean Clavitt. Around he went. Whoa, trouble, Henderson, turned by Gaiman. Oh, this is dramatic. We've got a lot to go over here to review after this opening lap of stage 2. John Hagan does take the lead over Hunter Peach, Lily Sharp in 3rd, Sawyer 4th, Kissenweather down in 7th. Did not have a great restart. And I think we're going to take a look at what might have happened here. So let's take a look here. Josh Gaiman, who I think has ended his race here on this restart. What happens to Josh Gaiman, the 33? Oh, turned by his teammate. Ooh, not good. What happened to Dean at the bus stop? Ooh. He gets passed by Peach. Oh, gets turned by... Oh, I don't know if he gets turned by Sharp or what happened there, but just completely missed him. Seems like something's broken on the 33 car. I'll take another look at what happened there to Gaiman. This is Henderson and Gaiman. Ooh, hard hit for Hall as well. Oh, that car is completely broken. You can see the right rear not turning. Take another look here at what happened to Josh Gaiman here. Yeah, Gaiman tries shooting the gap there. And that's where Gaiman's right rear or left rear got broken up. So Gaiman's race over early, second retirement of the race. But none of that really affected Kissenweather at all. So Kissenweather just a slower restart in general. All of that behind him. Just didn't get a good run. And so now he's got work to do. Sharp, the best of those that came down pit lane under that caution. Well, excuse me, second best. Tucker Sawyer got around Sharp for third. So Sawyer might be the best of that group right now. Sasek also in the 5th position. The concern right now for Hagan and for Pete is having enough fuel to get to the end of stage 2, which is at the end of lap 40 under green. That is the concern right now. Kissenweather gets around Swatsworth here. Susie trying to do the same. Here we go. Up the hill. Oh, Susie really loose out of turn 4. Had to get out of it completely to keep that car under control and misses the braking zone too. Susie down to 10th. Callie Height there in 11th. But this has not been a lap that's been great for Josh Susie at all. Sawyer just had fast lap of the race. He's going after Hunter Peach and John Hagan. Top 4 pretty well knows the tail here on lap 25. Sawyer, the fastest car on the racetrack at the moment. 4 fresh tires on that car compared to the none on Sharp's and the older tires on Peach and John Hagan's. Again, for Sharp and for Sawyer, who are safe on fuel through the stage, you're applying pressure to Hagan and Peach to prevent them the ability to save fuel to make it as well. Because you just don't know if they're going to try to make it on fuel or not. I have a feeling that we're going to see both of them coming down pit lane. Just a hunch as a former engineer, as a former crew chief, that they're going to have to come down pit lane at some point here in the stage, probably near the end of the stage like they did before. Because everyone will have a pit stop in stage 3. That'll just be under green flag conditions, though, for everybody. It'll be very interesting to see how this all plays out, though. If they can make it on fuel, it'll be very interesting. Hagan, Peach, Sawyer, top 3. For Pretty close fight here. Pretty close fight further down the order as well. Thompson gets around Ratliff for 14th. He continues to lead here so far. He has led 8 laps today so far. And all of them have been in stage number 2. Kissenweather, who is in the 6th spot right now, trying to chase down Eli Sasek, led 16 laps of this race so far. See how that all plays out as the race unfolds. A bad restart for Kissenweather put him down behind the 8th ball, and now he has some work to do as the pole sitter. Thompson on a charge right now, past Ratliff a lap ago, now on Kyle Taub of 16th. Clay Thompson, known for some interesting heroics at Watkins Glen and the VRR GT World Tour. Had a pretty interesting skirmish for Bianca Constantinou. Those two fought in the rain here a couple months ago. Billy Thompson trying to beat elbows out here tonight as well. 3-car fight just outside the top 5. This is 8th, 9th, and 10th. Roberts, Flores, and Susi duking it out at the bottom end of the top 10. Callie Heighton 11th in the shadows just behind this group. He peeks to the inside of Flores. Thinks about a move, thinks against it. Sasek under pressure from Kissenweather for top 5. Sharp's falling off just a little bit here. Sawyer really applying the pressure now on the 20 of Peach. And he's going to look for a move in the turn number 1. Thought about it. It seemed like he had a lot of momentum to make that happen. Just left it against him. Unless he's also kind of come to the same realization that I think I've come to, is that the 20 and the 97 are coming down pit lane again before stage 2 comes to a close. I do believe that's going to be the case. Oh, here we go. Hagan with the bobble in the inner loop, and here comes Hunter Peach on the outside of the carousel. Toyota's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 out of the carousel. And Hagan gives up first and second. And good old Hunter Peach from Abilene, Texas. Whoa! Sharp try, putting that 3 wide, and Hagan really putting Sharp towards the pit wall. Not amused by that attempt by Sharp. And Sharp's going to lose a spot to Sasek as well. Little elbows out there. That was spicy in the top 5. Almost a 3-car accident there. Still could be. This was the aggression we're talking about from Sharp earlier. Sharp's got a lot of pace, especially in the road courses, but is also known for being very aggressive. Arguably more so. Got suspended permanently from the HTL Cup Series for this type of behavior. So it's in her track record. Fortunately enough, we had a lot of really good drivers in that top 6 that could avoid what was going to be a doomsday crash on the exit of turn 7. Seems like it settled down a little bit here, so let's go ahead and take a look at what happened to put that together. And this was what happened in the lead up to this. Everyone looked to the inside of Sawyer. Sharp was just trying to fill the space. And Hagan not happy of being used as sort of a physical break there in turn 7. And now they're all bunched up to do it again. Sawyer still under pressure. I'm sorry, Pete under pressure by Sawyer. Let's try that again. Hagan in third, though, about a second and change shy of this battle for the race lead, with Willie Sharp in his mirror. And then you've got Eli Sasek and Mark Kissenweather in 6th. Only car lap down at the moment is that of Dustin Hall. Tyler Ratliff's race has come to an end. Same with Josh Gaiman and Austin Mongol. So we're down to 20 running at the moment. Dean Clavitt has made a pit stop here, so he is good to go to the end of the stage. Again, it's all eyes on this battle at the front of the field right now. This is for third between Sharp and Hagan. Oh, trouble! Trouble, Sawyer! Sawyer in the fence! Whoa! A lapse in concentration for Sawyer puts him in the fence and gives Hunter Peach 2 seconds of breathing room. Season 3 champion Zach Meredith in the stand watching over the 20 of Hunter Peach. Helping the Abilene, Texas native strategize here from the front of the field. For both these drivers, Sharp and Sawyer, their best chance to make their way into the championship 8 is right here. Which I think also kind of plays into Sharp's increased aggressiveness tonight, knowing this is her best opportunity to do anything. Hagen in fourth. Kissenweather fifth. Sasek down to sixth. Swatsworth for the 3 seconds behind this group. Roberts, Susie, Flores top 10. Callie Height still in 11th place, trying to make some inroads here. 6 to go in the stage. And about a second between Height and Flores for that last spot in the top 10. These two on your screen, the 19 and the 95, very familiar with each other. But obviously across HTL and the AVN Champ Car World Series. On road courses, Sawyer has been the best of the two. And you're seeing both of them letting it all hang out here. And Sharp still struggling to put the power down out of 7. Hagen might go for third again. Latest of the late breakers here. Sharp holds him off. Very much a back and forth here. Sawyer's Club back in 4/10 of a second. Another tag of the wall, this time by Hagen. And Hagen struggling. Kissenweather up into the 4th spot, looking for third. Chooses not to do it in the bus stop. Sasek to 5th. This is wild. This is absolutely wild, this battle in the top 5. Hagen now out of the top 5, needs to make a pit stop. We do believe, we could be wrong on that, Hagen has been showing pace like he's been fuel saving a little bit. But we do believe a pit stop's coming for the 97 in this stage. Same with the 20 of Peach. It'd be very interesting to see if Peach does stay out here and try to win the stage. 4 to go in stage 2. This is a good fight right now. We're eating pretty well. Less than a second now. Sawyer's closed the gap down. Sawyer's on a tear right now. Either that or Peach is trying to save. Could be a little bit of A and B. There's Sharp in the mix. Kissenweather in 4th, right there in the shadows. And by the time the stage is over, we'll have all 20 cars back on the lead lap with Dustin Hall getting his lap back. Here comes Sawyer in pit lane. And Hagen. So they're forfeiting the stage points to come down pit lane early. 3 laps to go in the stage. It is now Hunter Peach, Sharp, and Kissenweather, your top 3. Wow. Was not expecting Sawyer to be the one to come down pit lane. But that's exactly what happened. Sasek stays out. His teammates came in. More cars down pit lane. Callie Height, Josh Susie, Jimmy Braille, all down pit lane. Going to be a lot of stage points there for Sharp if she can hold on to the 2nd place. Finished 3rd in stage 1. Obviously, stage points not really the be-all, end-all at the moment if a race wins in the cards. Sharp really struggling, though, to put those tires to use through turn 6. Going to be a really good chance for Kissenweather to get to 2nd place here. Really good exit out of 7. Late braking in the turn 1. Kissenweather makes it through pretty easily. Sharp to third now, and then Sasek in fourth. Swatsworth fifth. Roberts, Flores, Smeal, Thompson, and Taub are your top 10. Baxter in 11th. And actually Baxter, I think, yeah, Baxter a little bit latency there, but still in 11th place over Josh Arnold. Tucker Sawyer in 11th now ahead of John Hagan. Josh Susie in 15th ahead of Callie Height. Three cars out. Ratliff, Gaiman, Mongold on your screen on the tower. 20 cars still rolling as we approach the white flag in stage number 2. Kissenweather probably not going to have enough to really go for that stage win, but the shuffle back to the front after a very bad restart. It's been entertaining, at the very least, very entertaining. And they get to reset and go again in a few laps. White flag in stage 2. Peach leading by over a second through the inner loop. Kissenweather not under threat from Sharp or Sasek. Swatsworth and Roberts close together, but I don't think close enough for those two to change positions just yet, unless Swatsworth makes a mistake. Roberts runs really wide out of the carousel. Hunter Peach through turn 7. He will grab a stage win here in Watkins Glen. Stage 2 belongs to Abilene, Texas' own Hunter Peach. He wins stage 2. Mark Kissenweather rounds out the top 2, Sharp in third, and the stage caution comes out. The top 10 on your screen get stage points. Dustin Hall just up the road here, a lap down, will get his lap back. To start off stage 2 will give us all 20 cars back on the lead lap. See both Hall and Henderson close to losing a lap. For Hall, would be a second lap down to Tombstone and the Unforgiven Motorsports car not having a great time. Something has happened to Schatz. Swatsworth's out of fuel. The 18th out of fuel. Swatsworth got stage points, but he is out of gas. Swatsworth out of fuel at the top of the hill. Dangerous place to be, out of fuel. He's only got a couple cars that are left to get around him. Klava is the next. He's not the only one. Josh Arnold. Or did Josh Arnold? Whoa, they were not cited to that. As Arnold waiting for his teammate. I think Arnold was waiting to see if Swatsworth could get to him so he could push him back to pit lane. That's not going to be the case. Swatsworth will have to tow. He should have towed probably a minute or two earlier to avoid going a lap down. These longer pace laps, you can do that and avoid going a lap down. But now he will 100% go a lap down. 100% go a lap down. Don't get that decision ultimately. Pit stops coming up here for the second time tonight for those that did not come down pit lane in stage number 2. Peach, Kissenweather, Sharp, Sasick, Roberts, Flores, Schmiel, Thompson, Taub, Baxter. Your entire top 10 on your screen will be among those that have to come down pit lane. Watch these pit stops as they happen, and then we'll step aside for our second break of the evening. And get ready for stage number 3. Leaders come down. Did Josh Arnold get stuck a lap down? Oh my goodness, he got stuck a lap down. Oh goodness gracious. What a mistake there by the Militia Racing Club. Not very often you see a mistake like that. Not a lot of communication on that team as far as how that all took place there. Arnold now stuck a lap down. He's going to have to get a wave around, which is going to be the most annoying thing on the planet. Because he needs to be able to come down pit lane. He'll have to come down under green flag conditions then. Sharp once again, fuel only on that stop. Sorry, Sharp took 2 tires only on that stop, not 4. Still interesting, only 2 tires on that stop, because you have to take left or right side. You can't take fronts or rears. Not a GT3 car. But it does mean that Tucker Sawyer re-inherits the race lead over John Hagan, Josh Susi, Jeremy Braille, and Callie Hyatt, who for the first time tonight ends up in the top 5 as it's all said and done. We will step aside for a quick break from a word from HTL's setup provider for the HTL Cup Series. Don't go anywhere, because stage 3 is coming up here from New York, here on ABM Studios. Welcome back, everyone, to the HTL Watkins Glen 300 here, Watkins Glen International, Seneca Lake, here in upstate New York, hosting round 2, race 2 of the round of 16. Race 2 out of 5 in the opening round of the HTL Cup playoffs. It is Tucker Sawyer and John Hagan that'll lead the field green here over Josh Susi, Jeremy Braille, Callie Haidt, and Lily Sharp as we get ready to go back racing for stage number 3. Last road course race of the season. Big opportunity for a couple of these drivers to try to get themselves into the championship 8, or for John Hagan, the tie. Josh Susi's record for most wins in a single season, 7 wins is the record Josh Susi set. Hagan has 6 this season. Top 5 going in. Tucker Sawyer, John Hagan, Josh Susi, Jeremy Braille, and Callie Haidt as they sit right now. Last lap pit stop. You can see the numbers there, 5 cars all in the front of the field. Pit before the end of stage number 2. Everyone's got a green flag pit stop here in stage 3. So that is a non-issue there. You're not going to be able to stretch to make it without stopping again. It's just that the top 5 on your screen will have to come down earlier than everyone else by about 5 laps. And then where everyone came down pit lane and where everyone started this race. Callie Haidt started this race 13th. One of the bigger movers in this race, currently up 8 spots as things sit. Ben Roberts back where he started in the top 10. But some big time money moves as we get ready to go racing once again. Restart stage 3 presented by Team Conti. Big update coming up for all Start Car Racing fans. The QR code will help you stay up to date on all of it and get the upper edge when the new iRacing season begins next week. Green flag is in the air and away we go. Cleanest restart of the race so far. Everyone got through okay. And trouble, Peach! Peach goes around. Hunter Peach goes around from the front of the field down to 18th place. That is the worst time to have an incident like that at the final stage of the race. You need to be as perfect as possible, and that's going to make life very difficult for the 20 in the final stage of this race. Trouble, further back! Sharp in the fence. Huge issues. First it was Peach, now it's Height. Now it's not Height, it's Sharp. Height's just flying. Callie Height's in 4th. And more trouble. Kissing Weather in the fence. Oh no. Oh no. I think we know who made contact with Sharp in turn 7. Big time damage on that driver's side, that left front. Oh, that's so bad. That's effectively race done for Kissing Weather. That's devastating. That's just 100% devastating. Kissing Weather just trying to keep this car going. He's got to cut the bus stop. He's trying to get back to pit lane under his own power, and I understand why. Two major mistakes. Let's take a look at the first one. Hunter Peach in the inner loop. We'll see if we can grab the chopper cam that was over this side of the racetrack here. Hunter Peach on your screen. This is going to be depressing for Hunter Peach. Does he get help? 100% he gets help. First from Sharp, then by Sasek. So a double tap there for Peach unfortunately puts him down the order. What happens to Sharp, though, at the end of the lap? This is the 6. Unforced error. Too much curbing there. Ooh. There's a little bit too much curbing there for Sharp. Right on board with Mark real quick. The 12. Heartbreaking the way this is going to come to an end for him. It's a little too much curving. You can see that the hop in the grass kicked up. Here, pole sitter looking for race win number 4. Will not get it, and he tries to avoid hitting Thompson and Flores there, but just can't steer at that point. You can't really brake that well. You can't steer that well. And I think it is day done for the 12 here in Watkins Glen. It is. The Kissing Weather machine, car 12, will be classified 20th place tonight. 2 bad races back to back. Darlington was not good for the 12 car either. And Mark will have to now regroup and refocus for the great unknown in Las Vegas next Monday. Tucker Sawyer, he's had his stretch of issues earlier in the race, but right now it is clear sailing for 95. Front of the field, John Hagan second, Josh Sousa, your defending race winner, in third. Jeremy Braille's gotten it back around Callie Height, who's still in the top 5, but under pressure now once again from Eli Sasek. So 2 of the favorites for this race today are effectively out. Sharp is in 14th, but 12 seconds, 13 seconds off the lead and damage. Kissenweather out. Hunter Peach, a dark horse going into this race, also in trouble. Peach in 13th place now. Overall, just a bad time for some of the favorites starting this race out. They look so good, and things have fallen apart so quickly in stage 3. Not a lot of love lost here between Sasek and Callie Height in this battle for the top 5. Height will have to come down pit lane before Sasek does for that last pit stop. We'll see how patient Sasek is with the 88. At turn 7, Brendan Robertson in 7th place, Flores 8th, Thompson 9th, Davisfield Jr. now in the top 10. Here comes Sasek. A little bit of contact there for the carousel. He's waiting with bated breath to see one of the cars just get hooked into the Armco in either direction. Not the case. And Sasek will take the top 5 away. And Bryn Roberts in hot pursuit as well. A little further back, battle for the 12th spot here between Taub and Peach. A couple of friends here together. And Peach going to get that pretty painlessly. Sharp in close proximity as well. Tilts the inside lane there for the 13th spot. Talked about the aggression of the 19 car going into this race and how desperate the 19 was gonna be. It wasn't forced contact with another driver. It was unforced error that resulted in contact by Kissenweather. But still, you saw that aggressiveness bite the 19 car tonight, and it is going to be it's going to be a question of what if for the 19. You had a top 5 car, 100%. Would have been a game changer, would have really helped Sharp going into Las Vegas to have something in hand. Stage points will soften the blow, 3rd and 2nd in the stages. But to only be right now 13th place with a top 5 car is going to be a kicker. Callie Height under threat once again, a little bit more so from Bren Roberts this time around as they approach the inner loop. Flores lying in wait. Thompson in 9th. Side by side towards turn 6. What does Roberts got for the outside? Can't stay side by side there. If he could have, it would have been great for turn 7. Not the case though. Callie Height able to pull him off there. One more lap, and whoa, trouble for Height. Ooh, that was scary. Callie Height, a little bit of latency issues there, but still on the racetrack in 6th. I'm sure Bryn Roberts was holding on with a long breath to see if the 88 was completely gone or not. Remember, Callie Height on older tires as well as lower fuel, so less grip in the 88 car compared to the 8 and the 99. Height goes to block Roberts into the inner loop and overdrives it. Big time overdrive. You don't take a turn as sharp as that by cutting the corner even sharper. And now you've got side by side Thompson and Height. And this is going to be an uncomfortable conversation if things go south. Oh! Having the mind P's and Q's there. Thompson dooring the 88 of Height. Really good time to point out that there is a probationary list with Thompson and Height on it regarding a series of events this season between Thompson and the Gibney Racing Division cars. Last week it was Thompson and Josh Soucy, with those two tangling multiple times. Callie Height's had her own issues with both Thompson and with Patrick Overstadt. Height's been suspended already this season for deliberately wrecking Overstadt at Kentucky earlier in the year. So these two need to be on their best behavior or they are done for the season. That's the directive from HTL officials to try to curb down some of the aggressive driving between both sides of that conversation. And we wondered going in, with Thompson being so aggressive here at Watkins Glen specifically, and it's been a trend for Thompson, whether it's been in HTL, in VRR, in ABM, whether or not that would be a topic that would have to be approached here tonight. And unfortunately it is, because Thompson's in a sandwich right now with Height and Smeal. So this is something where everyone's having to sort of sit on eggshells and pins and needles. Usually we try to avoid some of that drama, but unfortunately I don't think we don't get the choice on this one tonight, because it's right there in front of us. Height stays ahead of Thompson, but again, Height on older tires will have to come down pit lane before those around her. This is the closest battle on the racetrack at the moment. Hunter Pete making his pit stop now. First car to come in stage 3. He will be good to go to the end, trying to get into the top 10. The bus stop, the inner loop, nose to tail, the 88, the 27, and the 3. Now through the carousel. Pit stops incoming, I believe, for most of the field. Obviously, within the next 5 laps, I think. Here comes Thompson. Looking for a way around the 88 of height. Davis Meal comes in. Meal down pit lane. Hunter Peach, he's back out on the racetrack. This is what his pit time was. 7 seconds, fuel only for the 20. See what Davis Meal's time looks like here. In his box. Is this a fuel only stop as well? Looks like it might be. Yes, it is. 6.8 on the clock, so a little bit quicker. Here's Hunter Peach dealing with Sharp. And they will both still be behind Davis Meal Jr. So the way it's looking, Smeel might have a chance to hold on to the top 10 here because he's pretty comfortably ahead of both of them. Pressure from Hagen. Pressure to Hagen from Josh Susie here, second and third. Sawyer's 1.3 ahead. And looking pretty settled right now at the front of the field, with less than 20 laps to go here in Watkins Glen. This stop's coming for the entire field that's not already come down pit lane. What does that look like for Sawyer, for Hagen, for Susie, and for Braille on different strategies, the two of them, or the four of them? Again, a battle here for the 8th spot between Callie Height and Bailey Thompson. Battles going on here as well. Smeal's gotten around Henderson. That 25 car all torn up again tonight. 2 bad races for Henderson as well. Everyone's staying out as long as possible. Make that fuel stop at the end as short as you can make it. The least amount of time you can stay stationary on pit lane, the better. To try to hold station here. Smeel out of pit lane. I think Smeel had a penalty to serve. He just did a drive-through. Uh-oh. I think. No, I'm reading that data wrong. He did not have a drive-through. He's good. He's good. He's in the 12th spot right now. I was reading that wrong data. It refreshed as if he had just done it on lap 60, but no, he did on lap 57. That's his fuel stop. He's good. I was concerned for a second. I was like, that's concerning. Two cars in pit lane together, Bailey Thompson and Kelly Height. So they're going to make a pit stop together and see how this plays out. Predictably, with 15 laps to go coming up here, it is going to be a fuel stops for just about everyone here on out. We'll see how this plays out for them. 7.2 second stop. Thompson a little bit shorter of a pit stop, 6.6. And they're going to come out just on the fringe of the top 10. Davis Mills Jr. is going to leapfrog both of them. Maybe. It's close. Peach on Cali Height entering the inner loop. Thinks better of it. Slot back in line in the 13th position. Susie, I think, is in pit lane. Yes, he is. Josh Susie, the two-time defending champion, looking to go 3 back to back to back. Would like a win to get there. He's comfy no matter what right now. He's had a really good run here in Watkins Glen. 7.2 second stop, conservative stop there for Susie. He will rejoin the racetrack here 9th ahead of Davis Mills Jr. by about 12 seconds. This battle still rages on between Smeal and Thompson. They're good to go to the finish. Both of them in the playoffs. Smeal filling in for Caitlin Height in the 3. Bailey Thompson on the outside looking in at the top 12. Smeal was already in the top 8 going into tonight. Had a good run at Darlington last week. Trying to back that up with another really good run here, getting around Josh Arnold as Lily Sharp has missed the inner loop completely. Was trying to catch up to Hunter Peach and will instead fall back a lot. Side by side, Smeal and Thompson through turn 6. You can tell they're walking on eggshells around each other right now. Thompson trying to get clear and will do so. Arnold just trying to get out of the way because he sees 4 cars that are all battling to get top 10. He's just trying to get through Watkins Glen and move on to Vegas next week. Smeal's going to really charge after Thompson here into the inner loop. Hagan, Sawyer, Susie all down pit lane. Eli Sasek now leads. Interestingly enough, Hagan has leapfrogged Sawyer on the pit lane here. And it's all about the amount of time left stationary. Sawyer was stationary for almost 3 seconds longer than both Hagan and the 81 of Josh Susie. Braille also in this fight, also has come down pit lane recently. So this is a direct fight for what could be the lead of the race. No, Hagan down pit lane. Whoa! Wasn't calling that. Did he speed? Was there a penalty on pit lane for John Hagan? Oh no. I mean, he's locked in, so I guess not the end of the world, but I think this is a penalty for unsafe pit exit because this is a drive-through. No, he's down pit lane again. Wow. What is going on here with Hagan? Is this a 26-second stop? Oh, this is a 26-second hold, so he is going to lose a lot of time here. Oh, wow. That is insane. 26 seconds. Is he going to start rolling now? No, he's not. He is. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. Let's look to see what happened here with John Hagen and see if we can deduct what happened to the 97. This is the replay. He gets rolling. Watch the yellow line. Does he jump over it? No, he doesn't. What is going on with John Hagen? I thought it was an unsafe pit exit. That is not the case, not even close. Hagen back out and running now, but a lap down in 17. That is crazy. Eli Sasek leads the race. He still has a pit stop to make. Same with Robertson, Flores, and Kyle Taub, and Ross Baxter. Your entire top 5 needs a pit stop to make still. They pit on lap 42. But this is going to be a hot fight. Hagen's not in it, but it's Sawyer, Susie, and Braille. Thompson will end up recycling up into about 4th place. Davis Meal looking at potential top 5 here once everyone makes their pit stops. This is very, very interesting. I was not ready for this. This was not in the bingo card. Coming to 10 laps to go. Top 4 staying out just a little bit longer. There's Ross Baxter in 5th. He's going to drop like a rock when he makes his pit stop here. He's being caught up by what will be the race leaders in no time at all. So you're trying to tiptoe around Baxter here. Some drama in this race once again. Retirements for Kissenweather and for Gaiman once again. Both of them out for their 2nd consecutive race. As here comes the 38 of Ross Baxter. So, 10 laps to go here in Watkins Glen. And we'll talk about it again for a second. This was entering today. This was John Hagen, obviously locked in already. Good thing too, because he is losing, obviously losing a lot there, going a lap down with a unknown pit stop. Not sure what happened there with the 97 on that last stop. Kissenweather will have some struggles here. Chad Swansworth not having a great time in 18th place right now. Josh Gaiman struggling here, 9th place for him. Jeremy Braille having a good race. Lily Sharp's race going down the tubes outside the top 10 tonight. Josh Arnold not having a good run either. And obviously the big conversation, Tucker Sawyer trying to win to get in. Henderson having another bad race. Bailey Thompson having a decent run of form now. And Caitlin Height missing the 2nd race in a row to start the playoffs. Not where you want to be. So Tucker Sawyer up to 5th place. 4 cars yet to make a pit stop in this race. Sasek, Roberts, Flores, and Taub. And he has left Susie and Braille behind. Likewise, they kind of left each other behind altogether because Braille's kind of on his own island now in 3rd. And I think we see what happened to Jeremy Braille here. Here's the replay from Jeremy Braille's perspective of what happened to the 74. Side by side with Susie, and I have a feeling this does not end well. No, it does not. Side by side never works in the bus stop correctly. And that's what happened between the 81 and the 74. It's a 1-car lane that line to the inner loop. Braille still in a good standing to try to take over the top 3 here. Brendan Roberts takes over the race lead because Sasek, Flores, and Taub are all in. Brendan Roberts will have a pit stop to make here. Sasek ends up recycling in provisionally second place. Once Brendan Roberts comes in and makes that pit stop ahead of Josh Susi, this is going to be a very interesting one to see if Susi can catch Sasek or if Sasek can reel in Sawyer. Rolling through the inner loop here with less than 10 to go. Coming to 7 to go. And Roberts is in. So your race leader, Bryn Roberts, coming in. Will lead 2 laps here. His second lap in pit lane. And let's see, he went the longest. What does his pit stop time looks like? Is it a 7-second stop or is it less than that? It is way less than that, 6.4. He will come out behind Jeremy Braille. And Sasek's had some sort of issue. Sasek's in pit lane again. What is going on? This is 2 Ascent cars now, Hagan and Sasek. Giving up good position, giving up podium spots. What has happened to Ascent tonight? That is Sasek that is dropping down the order, now in 14th place. And what was going to be a phenomenal run for Sasek is now a nightmare 15th place. And on the verge of potentially going a lap down. "36, 37, 38 seconds. This is insane. 43.5 seconds on pit lane. Ends up behind Hagan in 16th place. His team his satellite team, Tucker Sawyer, right behind him now. That is insane. Susi and Braille end up back on the podium, which makes the fight with Braille and Roberts interesting. Thompson and Peach battling for the top 5. But what a fall apart for Ascent. This is the battle for the top 5. Hunter Peach trying to make the most out of his recovery drive for spinning early in stage 2, or early in stage 3, off the nose of first Eli Sasek and then Lily Sharp. Game of what could have been, giving the trouble with Hagan and Eli Sasek at the front of the field, and with Susi and Braille run in earlier. It would have been another really good run for the 20. That very much a case of what could have been. Another close battle here. This is Sharp and Callie Height at the edge of the top 10. Thompson locks up there with 5 laps to go into turn 1. This is the battle between these 3, Smeal, Sharp, and Height, all together at the edge of the top 10. Really, they're all in this same group, from 5th to 10th all together. Look at camera there at the entrance of the inner loop. He's really trying to drive around the 27 here. I have a feeling the chrome horns are going to be used a little bit. Peach, not one of those, and under concern. Obviously, in that conversation about potential suspensions for future run-ins between Gibney Racing Division and Bailey Thompson, the 27 here. So Peach has a little bit more leeway than like David Smeal Jr. or Callie Height. But do you use the chrome horn? That is the eternal question. Hunter Peach just might if he needs to. He wants that top 5. He wants it pretty badly. Flores in 7th, Smeal in 8th, Sharp and Height rounding out the top 10 at the moment. Just outside the top 10 is Dean Clavin, who did not have a great start to this race, and Kyle Taubman, 12th. This is your race leader, Tucker Sawyer, leading the way by 2 seconds over Josh Susie. Coming to 3 laps to go here in New York. The last road course race of the season. Peach did get around Thompson and did it smooth too. We'll get a replay here in just a second. We're going to see if there's a response in this group around the top 5. Callie Height losing the front end on turn 7. Elias Flores also looking strong right now. And here was that pass for the top 5 by Peach, really tight in the bus stop, that inner loop. Tried the lap before, it didn't quite work. He tried it again, and Thompson left the door open and allowed the 20 to march on through. Peach was not being denied twice. Good run. Very good run by Hunter Peach. And now the 20s back up to the top 5. Meanwhile, Thompson now under threat from Flores. Got a really good view of that pass by Peach. Two laps to go here in Watkins Glen. We got a dogfight in the top 10 for position. Peach waltzing away with the top 5, 6th through 10th under a blanket. Sawyer's opened up a near 5-second gap on Josh Susie to try to punch his ticket into the championship 8. Oh, Sharp just missed the pit, just missed the inner loop again. 3rd time for Sharp. We'll stay ahead of Callie Height, who struggled in this stanza of the race. Tucker Sawyer will take the white flag. 1 lap to go, presented by Henderson Graphics, but it is a huge fight on the outskirts of the top 5. Henderson a lap down once again in the 16th spot, getting out of the way of everyone here in this battle. You got 1 more lap to try to get it done. If you're Flores, if you're Smeal. And Callie Height did get around Lily Sharp. Lily Sharp had to serve a slowdown for skipping the inner loop that 3rd time. Here comes Smeal, looking at Flores. Flores defends. Smeal to the outside. This is going to be tight. A little bit of brake dust, a little bit of push and shove. They both keep it on the racetrack. Somehow, some way they do. Side by side, Sharp and Height. These two really don't like each other either. Trying to over-under. Sawyer's going to come around and take the checkered flag. He's going to win at Watkins Glen Well, we got battles to keep an eye on here. And that battle fell away quickly. So Sawyer, your race winner, Height beats Sharp to the punch for 9th. Congratulatory bump there by John Hagan, who went a lap down at the very end. It is Tucker Sawyer. His first career HTL Cup Series win. And a ticket punched into the championship 8. I think a congratulatory bump there by Josh Susie. Congratulating Sawyer for his first career win in the series. Congratulatory bump there by Jeremy Brayout as well. Tucker Sawyer, your race winner here in Watkins Glen. Hunter Peach giving him congratulations as well. A lot of first-time winners this season. Whoa. Henderson in the mix there. I don't think you meant to be. But everyone giving congrats to Tucker Sawyer. Well, take a look at what happened in that pass for 9th between Height and Sharp. This is what happened. And Sawyer gets ready to burn it down on the front straightaway. This was the initial pass. A little bit of physicality there. Height forcing the door open and taking the way through. And then here's the second half of this. This was Sharp missing a little bit banging back and forth there between the two. Henderson in the way just a little bit. And something happened and Sharp had to give it all up. And that's why. Ooh. See if we can get another look at that. That's going to be a little bit argy-bargy. A little bit of contact there. Well off the racetrack there and the entry to the inner loop. So that wouldn't have been a legal pass. Callie Height obviously stood her ground there. And does Sharp try to move Height? Yeah. Yeah, Sharp just tries driving into Height and pays for it. Wow. Not the way I imagined that. But Tucker Sawyer gets to celebrate here. The winning moment presented by Team Conti Sim Racing Performance. We have to talk to him here in just a moment here. But here are your full results here from Watkins Glen. Tucker Sawyer, Jeremy Brayout, Josh Susie, your top 3. We'll hear from our podium finishers here in just a moment. Ben Robertson 4th, a good run for him in the 8 car. Hunter Peach top 5. Bailey Thompson in 6th, ahead of Elias Flores, David Smith Jr., and Callie Height with Lily Sharp rounding out the top 10 here tonight. Dean Clavitt up to 11th, gained 11 spots from 22nd on the grid. Kyle Taub rounds out the top 12. Ross Baxter and Eli Sasek, the last cars on the lead lap. John Hagan, a bad pit stop for him. I think a penalty of some kind for both him and Sasek. 15th for Hagan. He's already locked into the championship 8, so no concern there. He'll move on to Las Vegas with a fresh slate and a chance to tie the record for most wins in a single season once again. Henderson, another no good, very bad race. 16th for him, a lap down. Same with Josh Arnold, who started this race dead last, gained 6 spots. Job done for Josh Arnold, who move on to Vegas with a chance to regain some of those points next week. Dustin Hall spent most of the race a lap down. Unfortunately, not a good run for him either in the number 1. Chad Swatsworth in the 18 ends up in 19th place. 4 retirements in this race. Mark Kissenweather from the pole to 20th, another bad run after Darlington being a bad race last week. Tyler Ratliff, a good stage 1, couldn't capitalize, 21st for him. Josh Gaiman crashing in stage 2, and Austin Mongold in stage 3, an early retirement after only 10 laps completed. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Let's go ahead and talk, first of all, to our 3rd place finisher, Jeremy Brayout, if they're available. Yes, they are. We'll start with Jeremy Brayout, the 3rd place finisher here tonight. Jeremy, a wild race here at Watkins Glen, a little bit of contact, a little bit of everything, but a podium very needed for the 74 team tonight. Walk us through it. Congratulations on the podium tonight.
Thanks. I actually got second.
Holy crap!
But yeah,
Whoa. Okay.
yeah.
I'll have to cover that in a
But
second.
thank you though. Yeah, thank you. That was probably the hardest I've ever driven on here. I was in full sweat mode. I put on my try hard hat and I was going for it, and I thought I had a pretty decent shot there until I cleared myself across Osie's nose in the bus stop and screwed the both of us. And apologized to him. That sucks for him. He was doing pretty good. But yeah, This is probably my one shot to make it into the next round. Because I'm not very good anywhere else, and Talladega is a complete crapshoot. So yeah, that was kind of it. So I mean, hopefully I gained enough points today to somewhat stay above the cut line. But second sucks, third sucks. I wish I won it.
Obviously, a wild race for you. And obviously, you're talking about, trying to make the most out of the situation, given the great unknown here especially with the update coming up here this week, changing a lot with these cars. Obviously, we've covered your sort of your saga with this next gen car. Obviously, in A squared winning the championship first year with the car. Your team's done well every year with the car, but it seems like, obviously, as you mentioned, you've kind of fallen out of favor with this next gen. With all the conversation of this car, getting the new tires, getting the updated draft model, the draft handling, and everything that goes around it, have you kept a sort of an eye and an ear out for all the stuff coming up this week? And is there optimism that it might swing back in your favor in terms of like what you're looking for in a race car with these three races being so important coming up?
I mean, I hope the mile and a half package is decent. I know there's going to be a lot of dirty air that's going to be talked about at the mile and a halves and every other track other than Talladega. I mean, I hope it helps, but with the way you watch the real car and see how it does with dirty air, I mean, it's just going to be up to the car in front and track position. So, I mean, people are going to be probably pulling a lot of track position moves on pit road, trying to get at least top five, because it's probably going to be the people that are going to be fighting for the win at the end of the race. I mean, that usually is anyways, but it's going to mean even more now. And the only way I'm going to like this car is if I can actually drive it off the corner with horsepower, and they are not adding horsepower, so that does not help me. So I'm not going to like that. But I mean, I've got to pull Hail Mary moves like I did last year, like I did at Kentucky last year, to try and get into the next round. I mean, I've got nothing. That was all I had in terms of talent. So I hope to God that this car is good for me, but I don't think it'll be in my favor at all.
Well, obviously, a race like tonight helps out a whole lot. Obviously, P2 tonight, we've watched on the screen the pass that you made on Susie after the S's into the inner loop for that second spot here tonight. Obviously, everything coming up here next week is going to be really interesting to see how everyone adjusts here, but a fantastic podium here at Watkins Glen. Before we let you go and let you obviously relax and unwind after a very long race here in New York, if there's anyone to shout and say thank you to, the floor is yours. Again, congratulations on an amazing run tonight here. A phenomenal P2 and a phenomenal drive all around for the number 74 team.
Yeah, thank you. I got to thank Smeal Racing Designs and John Smeal. He's put together all my paint schemes for the past 5 years, so I gotta thank him for that. And it's our 5th year anniversary, buddy. So thanks. And just thanks to everybody. I guess that drove me really good today. There was a lot of people that just, when they saw me coming, they kind of let me by, and then there were some other people that didn't really do that, but I appreciate it anyways. And thanks to ABN for putting on the broadcasts. ABN puts on the best broadcast in the business, so thanks, guys.
Phenomenal job for Jeremy Braille. Race ends up in a P2 finish for the 74 car. Phenomenal effort for that team with 3 races to go in the round of 16. Jeremy, relax, unwind, and get ready for Las Vegas next week. We're going to need all the energy for another really chaotic race.
Thanks. I'll see you there.
A phenomenal drive for the 74 crew. We'll move on to Josh Susie, the other side of that conversation. finishing P3 tonight. Josh, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
That was a wild race. We saw the pass on the final lap between you and Braille. You two battled most of the race together. Former winner of this race, you get another really good result to make up for the bad race that was Darlington, all things be told. What was this race like for you? This looked and seemed like a very exhausting one?
Uh, Physically, yeah. More frustrating than anything with the teammate shenanigans going on. That is really what ended up costing me the win. Yeah, then when I recognized that I wasn't going to catch Tucker, that I'd gotten cost too much time and used it up too much, I saw Braille was clear enough of fourth place that I gave him the spot back on the last lap. I felt bad for what happened in the bus stop, regardless of if it was just a racing deal or my fault. I didn't even look at it. I just know we went in side by side. I tried to hold it as left as I could, and the only thing I saw is he come across my nose. So I'm just going to assume it was my fault. And I was happy he got it gathered up, and he was able to truck on from Roberts, and just kind of limped it around, let him catch up, and let him have it on the last lap as a nod to him to say, "My bad."
Obviously, a phenomenal run here tonight, regardless of how things played out for you here. You qualified well, qualified this race in sixth. Obviously, you had the buffer, you had those playoff points going in, so you're still safely top 8 here. But it seems like this race, for a lot of the field, was a very overlooked sort of part of the process, with everyone looking at what's coming up on Wednesday with the refresh of this car. Obviously, 3 races ago in the playoffs, you're expected to be one of the favorites to make it into championship 8 here. What is something that sort of caught your eye getting ready for Wednesday, and what are you expecting with Las Vegas coming up here on Monday and nobody really having the time to get ready for it?
It's going to be even more annoying than it is now because it's going to be all about track position, and I'm going to get blocked harder going forward than I did tonight by Hagen. So it's going to be very frustrating, and it's going to be about being up front and controlling the air. If it goes according to what everyone's assuming, all things considering what iRacing says, it's supposed to shift to what it's like in real life. And you see in real life, it's all about, muddling the air and, giving the guy behind you dirty air, and they just can't get the power down and not get tight on corners. So it's going to be as bad as it is now about keeping it up front. It's going to be even more so important. So I'm not really looking forward to that. I wish it would open up the racing more, but that's how it is in real life. So the iRacing imitates that. So I guess we have that to look forward to.
Well, with Las Vegas being a track where multiple lanes are available, hopefully the saving grace there. We're hoping and praying that there's a little bit of saving grace there in Las Vegas in 7 days' time. That being said, this 81 car has seen multiple updates to this car, and it's been strong season after season after season. So it looks like you'll still be able to have that to lean on here in the rest of the playoffs. Before we let you go, though, and let you obviously get ready for the next week, the updates and everything that's going to come here with the refresh as it comes along on Wednesday, if there's anyone to shout and say thank you to, the floor is yours. A really good run of form since we came back to broadcast HTL. You've been on the podium more often than not, including here tonight. So take it away.
Yeah, I'm glad to finally have figured this out a little bit, with the whole new fuel load, new talent staying in the league, new setup shop, messing with driving styles. It's just taken a long time to try to adapt, and I'm not even fully there yet, but close enough to run up front more consistently. So, that's been a lot of work. And first and foremost, as always, thanks Nitro Setup Shop. Kill it on the oval side on asphalt. And I'm sure they'll be right on top of this update when it comes out, working hard, making sure the setups are just as fast as normal. So go get you some of them. And, everyone at Lady Liberty and our conglomerate here at GRD, we had a little bit of a rough night, but we're all still working hard. And we'll keep working hard for the rest of the season and see where it pans out. So we have that to look forward to. Hopefully, a few more of us get to talk to you. And thank everyone who showed up tonight. I know road courses aren't really all that popular, but it is what it is. And thanks for the broadcast.
Phenomenal job for Josh Susie. P3 tonight here at Watkins Glen. Another race on the podium with Las Vegas coming up here in 7 days' time. Josh, enjoy it, and hopefully we get to see the 81 again on the hopefully tops of the podium here before the round of 16 is over with.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you.
That was your third place driver, Josh Susie. A phenomenal run of form for him here tonight. As we move on now and get ready for our race-winning driver, the man of the hour, Tucker Sawyer, as he enters the broadcast booth here for his interview here. A phenomenal job tonight by Tucker Sawyer, race winner for the first time in his HTL Cup Series career as a rookie. Tucker, congratulations on the race win. 76 laps, not very easy, but the 95 looked well up to the task. Walk us through it.
It was tough. I mean, qualifying really scared me because I didn't put in a good lap until about 2 minutes left. So I was pretty nervous about that. And then the initial race start was a little sketchy. I don't know if it was on the broadcast, but I almost died about 3 times there.
A lot of people almost died. Some people actually did have a pretty bad crash. They're on lap 1, so people can count their stars on being lucky because they had to do it 3 times tonight.
Yeah, after that, I had to just like calm myself down, and John kind of just helped me stay up there with Mark. And I tried to put pressure on him towards the end of the stage, but I just couldn't get him. And then pit stops came around. Started second. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a long race. A little too long, to be honest. But yeah, me and John got ourselves in a good position, and then he said, he became the Sergio Perez towards the end there and helped me get it done. But it's a huge shout out to him. He's a legend.
Obviously, for you, you were kind of walking in knowing this race was your best chance to move into the Championship 8, and you performed as expected, as we've seen you on the ABN Champ Car side of things. Once again, well on the road course here in New York. That being said, a great unknown coming up here with this update. We've heard from a couple of the drivers already. This is going to change a lot. It seems like it's going to be closer tire-wise to the GT3, but as far as what the air is going to feel like, how this car is going to drive in traffic, it seems to be a huge unknown. Is there optimism that this change is going to help level the field out on the oval side for you to try to kind of level out and match this performance on the oval side? Or is there still like a level that you're trying to reach on the ovals to try to get into being a genuine championship contender instead of just a dark horse?
I mean, I'm still learning on the ovals. Like every race is like a new learning experience because I don't do ovals much. But I hope that the update kind of levels out the playing field a little bit, just so I have somewhat of a chance. But as the championship goes, I don't see myself in contention. But I did see myself getting in the playoffs for sure. But I don't see myself like winning. Because I'm just not. I don't have that experience yet. But
well, tonight was a good night. You get yourself into the Championship 8, so you get to spend more of the next 3 weeks, Las Vegas, Talladega, and Fontana, learning all of that experience before the Championship 8 begins in July. Before we let you go, let you celebrate your race win with your team and get ready for the changes that are coming on Wednesday. If there's anyone you want to shout and say thank you to, the floor is yours, Tucker. Take it away. Congratulations on your first career win.
Yep, thank you. I'd like to shout out John Hagan. He's a goat. Like he's the reason I won this. Eli Sasek, Elias Flores, everybody at Ascent Racing for helping me out. And then my mom and dad and like all my family and friends who are watching, and then everybody at ABN Studios putting on this awesome broadcast. And yeah.
A phenomenal job by Tucker Sawyer. He's a winner in the ABN Champ Car World Series 4 times over already. He will now also be an HTL Cup Series race winner Las Vegas next Monday. Tucker, we'll see you there. Enjoy the race win. And again, hopefully we get to talk to you again very shortly, whether on Monday or Wednesday nights.
Yep. Thank you. Yep.
That was Tucker Sawyer, our race winner tonight here after a phenomenal race in Watkins Glen. Again, your top 12 on your screen. Tucker Sawyer, Jeremy Braille, and Josh Susi rounds out your podium places. We heard from all three of them. Some general feel for what's coming up on Wednesday is going to be a pretty interesting development. We'll see how that plays out next Monday at Las Vegas for the HTL Cup Series. We do have a race before them on Saturday, June 14th, 8 p.m., right here on ABN. It is the ARCS High Octane Series as they walk through their the Truck Series season. I was a little bit confused on that one for a moment. But that is June 14th, 8 p.m. That is at Homestead, the end of the regular season. So they'll get their first try with the update on Saturday. On Sunday, I believe it's an off day for both the Winstone Cup Series and for the ARCS A-Square Cup Series for Father's Day. And then we have HTL on Monday, June 16th. And then June 18th, it is the ABN Champ Car World Series from Kentucky. But there's your top 12 on your screen after a fun race here tonight. Join us again. We'll be back live on Saturday, 8 p.m. right here for Truck Racing for ARCS. Until next time, on behalf of everyone here for the HTL Cup Series, I'm Carmen Sienna. On behalf of HTL and ABN, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you Saturday in Miami. So long, everybody.